So in preparation for our Kung Fu videos, I rewatched a bunch of classics, including Equilibriums, the meme lore of a movie that everybody who saw it enjoys it ironically. At least that's my anecdotal perception. It makes me feel like a crazy person because upon rewatching it, I started enjoying it as if it's just a well-done movie. Hear me out. If you don't know, Equilibrium is a movie set in a dystopian society in which everyone, by law, has to take emotion suppression drugs every day. The belief is that without emotions like anger and hatred, humanity would never walk the path of self-destruction again, and true peace can be attained. First of all, this movie has a budget of 30 million. That's chump change for a dystopian sci-fi movie. Any higher concept film of this budget range often had to limit itself to real-world settings, but not Equilibrium. This film has a consistent, brutalist aesthetic that feels otherworldly, very different from our consumer-oriented world. Everything is functional without flair or ornamentation. It is one of the most aesthetically cohesive films out there. Everything looks cheap and minimal without it actually feeling cheap. Sure, the CGI landscape looks like PS2 era pre-rendered cutscenes, but you have to admit the visual is always consistent and original. But even beyond its world building, the film also has a way of visually expressing its character desires. So one day, our protagonist accidentally stops taking the drugs, and he starts to feel emotion. How do you visually show that? There are very blunt moments like this in which the protagonist desperately peels off his window cover to see the stunning views outside. But there are also clever moments like this. The protagonist sees a woman who clearly is capable of feeling emotions, touching a handrail and feeling the coldness of the metal. So our protagonist removes his gloves and tries it too. It's pretty impressive that the writer-director managed to make tiny moments like this feel significant. But also, in this one scene, without a single line of dialogues, the filmmaker managed to display the protagonist's sensitivity, curiosity, and more importantly, his empathy. Or how about this stylish shot? The camera zooms out the desk in front of him, showing everyone to be a mindless drone in a soulless system. In a high-budget movie, the camera would zoom way out, showing, probably, a floor of hundreds of identical workers. Equilibrium, with its limitation, focuses on tiny things instead. This shot reveals that everyone has the exact same table layout. Seemingly out of a natural desire for an identity, the protagonist starts rearranging his stuff. It feels blunt and strange, yet deep down, it also feels pretty relatable, especially if you are an office worker. It's truly amazing how the film managed to take all these small moments in life and apply it to the film. It must take a great deal of sensitivity to be able to experience life to this extent. Yes, the film's premise is simplistic. Yes, it lacks depth and ambiguity. A dystopian world featuring a completely evil government, it lacks any subtlety that comes with the genre. And it doesn't make much of a meaningful commentary, outside of the obvious. I think because of this, a lot of people think this film is kinda stupid. A dumb movie pretending to be deep and meaningful. But Equilibrium does have things to say about things that we don't notice or appreciate in life. So, if you haven't watched this movie in a long time, consider giving it a rewatch. See it through this lens, how it expresses emotions and desires. You might just start seeing details in this film the same way our protagonist starts seeing beauty in small things.